Hello everyone, I am RexRed and we are back again with another awesome polka night let's see, we are Ez3DTv and it says that we have an awesome stream. Let's see if we do. Switch stream, let's load our stream up, select the stream and see. It says we are live, yes. So, okay, now, welcome. All right, I am not going to be, I'm hoping this may not be too long of a video tonight. But I think I just fixed an audio problem that I've been having for the longest time, because suddenly my microphone volume is looking like it's supposed to, and it hasn't looked that way for a while, and I just don't think that it liked a certain cable that now I know it's the cable. So all right, as you can see now, I am back here in EzFinder, and I'm going to show you all a new feature that just got added into the program. And what this does is it creates an anchor image. And I'm going to show you how this works. So what I'm going to do is insert a very large file. This file it says 537,000 files, okay, that we just instantly clicked in. And what I'm going to do also is another little thing here. I'm going to open up my task manager just to kind of show you. Welcome, Angus. Welcome from the hinterlands, my friend. Very lovely to see you tonight. So this is the memory. Now, if you notice this on my computer, okay, this is part of Windows, and this is how, when you go into your Control-Alt-Delete and you click on this next one down, it shows you how well your Ethernet is working. Like there's a giant spike, and then suddenly my Ethernet seems to be doing well. Welcome, Matt. Welcome, friend. Welcome. And so we have Matt Martz here, and we have Angus here. So this is my memory. Now, if I close down this the program, okay, we're going to go here. You'll see that it just jumped down considerably, okay? So what I've been working on this last thing on EzFinder, okay, is making sure that every single bit of memory is being released, because when you're dealing with thousands of files like this, thousands, you can't, and it's not just the files. Like when I open this back up again, see, now you'll see it bumps up again a little bit over here. It just bumped up a very, so at this point, this is like the last thing about EzFinder, is to just make sure that the memory is being managed as tightly as possible in every single way. And so when you see me click on this, okay, there's just a tiny, over here, a tiny little bump, okay, in the memory, like maybe a half a gig. And that just loaded 500,000 files. Okay, and no, I don't need to see the news window. All right, so what I'm going to do is show you an exciting new feature that just got added in today and yesterday, okay? And I'm not really sure what to call this, but like maybe an anchor image, okay? And I just said, okay, I have to have this feature before I release this program. It has to be something that, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go now, we'll go full screen here. All right. And what I'm going to do is now you see we're on page 1 of 3,539 pages. Now, let me explain how pages go. Now, what it does is when you open a page, okay, it measures the box and says, okay, if we're using a box this size, then there's 3,539 pages. But if I make the box bigger or smaller, then it has to remeasure it and say, oh, if it's smaller, there's going to be more pages. If it's a bigger window and more icons can fit on it, there'll be fewer pages, okay? So the larger I make this box, the fewer pages. The problem is if I'm on page, let's say 2067, all right, we're going to go to that page. If I'm here on this page here, then if I make, so I'm working on this page and then I say, I'd like to go, full screen. I'd like to work with more icons at one time, okay? Because that's the thing about it, this is being able to just grab a whole bunch of icons and throw them into one folder and then go to the next page and grab a lot of icons and bring them into a folder. And so what happens is what used to happen is if I were to click this little bar here, okay, and make the page larger, it would throw me off sometimes by like even 100 pages. So I'd have to go back 100 pages to find out where I was, okay? So now what's built into the program is what I call an anchor image, okay? So on this page 2067, the anchor image is this one right in the top corner, okay? So if I go to this page, this is the anchor image, okay? And if I go to this page, every time you paginate, it recalculates the anchor image, okay? And it works really well. Now, if I go to page, let's say, because I'm kind of looking for an anchor image that's really unique, anything that stands out so I can find it easy. So let's go to page 1346, just kind of guessing a page. And this one's kind of easy to find because it's blank. It looks blank, okay? But it's not that easy to find. But let's go to the next page. Let's see if we can find something really that stands out. And that's unique. Okay, this candle is unique, okay, because there's no other candle on the page, okay? So as you can see, I haven't clicked in the page, okay? And I'm going to open up Notepad, all right, just to kind of show you how this works. Now we are on page, and just so I can remember, 1349, okay? So now if I go like this, all right, now that just put more images here. So when there's more images on the page, there's going to be less pages. So we were at 1,349. Now we're at page 1165. So that's almost 200 pages different. So this switched to a different page. Okay? But notice our candle is still here. Okay? It's not going to be up in the top corner, because it doesn't change the order of the items, okay? It just changes, it just makes sure it's like wherever that anchor image is, it's going to be on this page, okay? So here's our candle. So now if I go here, now we're on page 1025. That's 300 and almost, that's almost 300 pages difference from from when we first started out. But look here. Here's our candle. Do you see that? It's anchoring that top that we started out with. As long as we don't paginate, as long as we don't click on the page and create a new anchor, it's going to always, no matter, now if I close this, now we're almost 400 pages away from where we started. And look, here is our candle. So it searched and found that candle page and put us on that candle page. See, so you don't lose your place when you need to take and say, oh, I want to work with more icons. It's going to always just automatically pick that anchor, okay? So now I'm going to show you another now it also works. I have a feeling this is too loud. It also works if you minimize. So notice this, I just minimized the page, and here is our candle. Now we're at page 2,441 because there's much fewer items, so it's actually gone up by almost 1,000 items, okay, from what it was. Now if I go like this, now we're at page 5,000, okay? We started out at page 1,000. Do you see how important this is? That you can focus your work, okay, where you're working. If you have a certain thing you're working with and you want to see, what's around, you want to work in that area of the library, okay? It's very important. So if I go back, now we're on a different page, 949, and there's our candle, okay? Do you see? So this is a very, very important feature. Now, this feature has another, we're not done yet, okay? Because supposing you just don't want the top corner image done, you want to be able to select the image, okay? So what we're going to do is let's pick another page. We'll go to 2, 3, 5, 6. I don't know where that is, but let's see. Okay, let's find, now what we're going to do is we're going to select the image that we want, okay? And this isn't working, so let me see, because I want something that really stands out so my eye can kind of find it. Okay, and there's some things that stand out there, but let's see, something like that candle that was just easy to find. Okay, I think that pattern right there, this is the only one like that. Oh no, there's two of them. Okay, but this one seems to be, so instead of letting, okay, let's just keep searching. Okay, let's go 2222, page 2222. All right, here we go, and see if we can find something here. All right, this hollow or thin object, okay, this one stands out, okay? This is the only one like this on this page. So instead of using, now if right now, the current anchor image is this one here. But if I select this, okay, that becomes the anchor image, okay? So now, as long as I don't paginate, okay? So if now this is this greenish kind of bluish, it says hollow or thin objects. Now if I go here, all right, where is our hollow or thin? Now there's a bunch of them. Here it is, okay? it's on this page, okay? It's not going to be where it was, but it will be this page, okay? And we're like hundreds of pages away now from where we were, but it's picked the page. Now, if I do this, hollow or thin image, here it is, okay? And if I do this, okay, where are you, hollow or thin image? There it is. You see, it works. Now, if I go and do this, hollow or thin image, they're all, like hundreds of pages away again, okay? Now, if I do this, look at this. There's only a few icons here. Hollow or thin image. This is page 23,000 because there's so many few items. It's just made, you know, like 23,000 of 26,000 pages, okay? Because there's only a few items per page. It's still there. You see, this is a very awesome feature because it anchors where you are in this massive library. Before, if you click this, like this, there it is again. It would take you miles away from where you were. So believe me, when I was working with this library now, here it is. It's going to be right there on that page. It just jumped hundreds of pages. And it's still here. This hollow, as long as I don't click anything, that will be our anchor, okay? So, and what would happen is I'd be working deep in the library and I'd be dragging stuff and I'd say, gosh, I'd like to go full screen. But then I would say, oh, if I go full screen, I'll lose my place. Okay, and so that is now you can just click on an icon and say, I'm not going to lose my place. I can go full screen like this and I can start working, and there we're on that page. Okay, see, so this it's something that is going to help you, believe me, a lot. Okay, this is the last feature that is going into the program, okay? And as you can see now, when we go back here, our memory is still pretty solid. It's not climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing. So I'm not really sure exactly how much memory is going to be required, because when this program runs, this program only needs, like to run, it only needs about maybe 1 or 2 gigs worth of memory, if that, like 1 gig of memory. It only jumps by a very small amount. Like when I close this down, okay, notice, okay, I'm closing the program right now. As you can see, it's closing. Okay, it takes a while because it has to empty the memory. All right, now watch what happens to our memory here. See, that's how much it's using. That little amount of memory. That's about how much Daz uses when it's empty. When the let's open Daz. Okay. Now you see we're opening up Daz. And you see it's climbing, climbing. All right? See, it just gradually climbed up to about what this was, about halfway through here, okay? It just gradually climbed up here. See, so that's how much Daz is using as much memory as just empty that EzFinder was using with all of those, with a full page of icons there. Okay, so it's not a lot. And the thing is that we can throw Daz over here. So Can you get by with 16 gigs of RAM? It all depends on how much stuff you have running in the background that you allow to run. Like I've got Steam and I've got OneDrive, I've got iCloud, I got Teams. I have 4 audio devices on my computer. I have 2 versions of Copilot. I have the regular version and the I have Windows Security running. I have my mouse thing, and I have this Bluetooth thing here, and these are only, I have a bunch of them turned off. I have the EA Games thing. I have all this Adobe stuff running in the background. I have like all kinds of music services running in the background, subscriptions that I work with. So that is what, even though I have them shut off down in here, they're using up a ton of RAM, okay? But there's really no more. This is it. This is like all of the stuff. But when I start my computer, there's a lot of stuff running. And so when I start using programs, this can really climb because, like with Daz, if you're working with Daz, like EzFinder isn't going to like fill this whole memory thing. Nothing you do in EzFinder is going to make it start climbing up and using massive amounts of memory. Okay, at the very highest it could go is possibly up into here, like maybe at 1 or 2 gigs, and that's because of the filter. This is the most labor-intensive part. Like if I select all of these and then open Easy Designer, watch what happens. Now that is actually loading 1 million files. 1 million files into memory so that it can search, okay, through those files for you. This is the only time, and as you can see, it climbs by about maybe 1 or 2 gigs, okay? That's a lot, really, okay? But when I close this down and click this off, okay, it just drops back down, gradually back down. And now if I go into, say, this and load one of the, and it's still going down, it's just gradually going down. Notice when I open up the wardrobe here and load one of these, this just kills this, whatever's in the RAM, it closes it down. So this program is releasing memories. Yes, you're right. Losing your place when you're talking about like losing it from hundreds of pages is a lot. It's a big issue. So Matt, he says losing your place is one of those tiny things that really eat at productivity over time. Right, and so now it's built in there. As long as you select a file, that will be your anchor. Okay, so like there, I just did it again. Okay, this is still in the page. Okay, I did it again. And this is still in the page, okay? So that is a very big thing. It keeps you right where you're at, okay? And so there's no way to lose your place, because even if you don't have it clicked and you close that, it's going to then pick the top corner image as the anchor, okay? So, and when you paginate, then this is the anchor, okay? Every time you paginate, it releases that anchor and picks, now this red shorts are the anchor. So So that is another thing. So, and this is only 4 pages. So every time that happens, I think, oh gosh, what's wrong? There's only, what happened to the rest of the items? But it's like, there's only 4 pages there. So now, as you notice, it's loading faster now too. These pages are loading. This program is really it's ready now, okay? So if I double click here and open this stuff, okay? See, this is working the way but this just loaded 537,000 items, but as you can see, it was only a tiny little bump, okay? Because it's only really loading one page, okay? This is our anchor image. So this program is now ready. So I can now open like the organizer up. And what I have been working on is getting, we go here to, now wardrobe is something that's we could work on. Now what's kind of nice is you can drag these over. So this is over here, but it's also right here. So it doesn't really matter how you do this, but you may want to add some more folders down here. Now, once you fill this whole thing up with folders, and then what happens is, as you can see, like this, then you end up with this where you have to use the scroll bar to get to the bottom, and it's kind of hard to click down in here and add a new folder. So what you just do is make sure that you have this selected, because as you can see, they highlight when you select. Make sure you select that, then add folder up here, and it puts the folder down there for you. So you don't have to put the folder down there. It just puts it down there, and then you can scroll down to that folder and rename it or whatever. So that's why there's 2 ways to put the folder in. Or you can, if it's full screen like this, then you can, and if you have all of these items, like some of these items I have here, because like this one, male clothes all, see there's 36,000 items here. So when I double click this, all right, and it's also over here, okay, male clothes all. So I can go now in here and search and say, now this is our anchor item again. Remember that anchor item thing. So I can search for ties. All right, search. Okay, these are ties. Oh, T-I-E. Let's just try tie. Okay, so we go back here to this male clothing all. Tie. All right, look, we've got ties here. Bowie, bow tie. All right, see, look at it, all these ties. See, I don't have a folder for ties. You can't add a folder here, okay? So you have to add it over here. So what I'll do is I'll show you where you can add up here. You click Add Folder. Tie. Up. Tie. Okay. I must have clicked it twice. All right, so tie. We have the tie, and now I think we have to go back out and come back into wardrobe. Sometimes it goes there and so there it is, okay. So now I hold the control key, drag this in here, and that just put all 3 pages of ties into, and cufflinks come up too, which is nice. So look at all the ties I have now. I have a tie folder. You see, this is pretty nice. Now, did it find all of the ties? Probably not, okay? And the reason why is because sometimes they're called, the artist, Daz artists will use different words. And then this any button hidden, okay, these ones, I don't want this in here. This, I don't know what these are, but I don't need those, okay? Remove from tie. Okay, does it work? Okay, that didn't work. So they're not gone, so there's a bug. Okay, so we go back here to page 3. And yeah, maybe I did. Oh, maybe I'm not in the tie category. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, it removed the symbol from them. Okay, but you have to now, if I go to page 3, you'll see they're gone because I was in the search category for tie. Okay, but we go to page 3, so it is working. Okay, scare the crap out of me, excuse me, but now right click, remove this. Now you'll see them disappear. Okay, because we're actually in the tie category. Okay. And so, all right, because I want this to be perfect. I don't want people to have problems. What I want is people to say, you know what? I'd like to have this feature rather than this feature that I thought worked doesn't work very well, and and every time I do this, this happens. So I'm sure that will happen. People will find these edge cases, okay? But for the most part, sweatpants, okay, I don't need sweatpants. And the retro sweatshirt, I don't need those, not in ties. So those go. And I am thinking, okay, jeans damaged, I don't need those in tie. Okay, and these here, this shirt. I don't need shirts in the tie unless they have ties, and I don't see any kind of tie, doesn't look like this. T-shirt, okay, tank top, those don't look like they have ties. And I don't think they'd come with a tie. So and this shirt here, and this is Boys in the Sun shirt, okay. Now this has some kind of tie, but that's not the kind of tie we're looking for. Bow tie, which is cool, there's no image for it, but I bet that will work. Okay, hide hoodie, okay, that's, we don't need that. Okay, these look like they all say tie. Right click, remove from tie. Okay, so far we haven't found one error in doing these. Okay, these briefs can go. The boxer briefs, tie. Come back. Okay, they're gone. These briefs can go. Remove from folder, tie. All right, and these damaged jeans, I'm not sure. I think we have a couple of them here. Remove from tie. Okay, yep, they're gone. All right. So now all we have are our ties, okay, in our tie folder. Marvelous Suit Zone. I'm not sure what that is. We'll leave that. If in doubt, we can try it at some point and say, what is that? This is just like the top, and these are jeans. And this is some kind of, maybe that might be a tie, but let's, and the full suit, we don't need the full suit. These are pants. That's some kind of courtier. That might be another word for a tie. It might be a word for a belt. That we'll leave that thing that kind of looks like a tie. We're not sure what it is, whether it goes around the neck. I think it does go around the neck. So, and that might let us know a shirt and tie, so we want to keep that. All right, so, all right, these are trousers, tie trousers, white tie trousers. We'll leave them for now. I'm not sure. I don't think those, and this is a tie tailcoat. Okay, we're going to leave that for now. I don't think they have a tie. Tie dress, I'm not sure. Those, again, we'll leave them, but these are going. They are not ties. All right, so they're gone. And now look at his hands, okay? Cane. All right, so holding a cane. It looks like there's a tie or something off onto the side, but we're going to get rid of this. Okay, tie. Doesn't look like, it looks like a pose to me. So, all right, now we have a perfectly curated, okay, white tie socks. I don't think that those are ties. Okay, so those are going to go from tie. Remove. So yeah, and as you can see when we go back here, our memory is still all stable here. Whenever we paginate, it it clears out a ton, it cleans the memory. It just does it constantly throughout the process of using this to make sure your memory isn't climbing, okay? So, you know, look, this is the jewelry. I haven't curated this. I just went and kind of went through this. That's like, okay, so the foot here, simplicity feet, fancy feet. I think there's jewels around their feet, so it's hard to kind of tell with this. So, but now if I go like, okay, well, so remember our, we still have our anchor point, so that all is still there, okay? So these look like rings. Okay, we're gonna leave those. That's jewelry. So this found the jewelry. Like, I didn't find these one by one and throw them in here. This was just by searching. Now these gems, okay, those are shaders, okay? Those are gonna go. I'm in the jewelry folder, okay? Remove from jewelry, so they will remove, okay? They're gone, okay? This custom ring, I don't know what that is. These, I'm gonna leave that. All right, it does say the word ring in it, so I'm not sure. Maybe you have to click that to make them work, but or to change the textures or something. But now these ribbons, okay, I'm not sure what they are. I'm going to leave them. They might have something to do with the jewelry, okay, because there's some reason why they showed up in the search. Look at these wooden rings. Those are cool. And these necklaces, these ones are ready to just boom, click, and put on your figure, depending on which figure they are. And that's the thing, is like sometimes you might say, okay, now this is our anchor point. You say, I need information on these, okay? So when I go like this, all right, that anchor point, it's in a different place, but it's still on this page, okay? So now I can look and say, oh, these are for, it doesn't say Genesis library, just says Genesis. So tribal pendant, it doesn't say. I would guess it's probably Genesis 8 because I have a ton of Genesis 8. Let's see what this one says. This one says 3 Delight. This one says iRay, okay? So at least we know that, okay? And these are another product, okay? And this one just says Genesis. That's the thing, is like I said, they don't tell you really what these things are, okay? So what you would want to do is look up this MDRJF necklace. You can look it up. You might be able to find it in the Daz. There might be something. It just says that where it's located, and you can go here, open the source folder, and now it tells us. It tells us where it comes from. Okay, and this is rock jewelry. Okay, Genesis 9. Okay, so actually it should have told us, but it was like quite a few things up where it had to look to find that name, Genesis 9. This is something I'd like to incorporate into the program a little bit more, is where it looks just a few more directories up to find that, to say, oh, this is Genesis 9. But we were able to find it, okay, by just right-clicking and open source folder and looking at the top here, and it tells us that it's actually in the Genesis 9 folder. All right, so this is something I'm going to add probably to the program, is that it looks a couple folders up more. It's probably only looking like 3 folders up. It might need to look like a few more. So that's the issue. Now this is the same thing for, oh, this one actually says Genesis 9. Okay, Genesis 9, let's see. All right, 3 delight, so this one is not. Okay, so it just says directory, library, people, Genesis, and it's like cut off. Okay, let's see. Let's go here again. Open source file. People Genesis. So it cut off the 9 for some reason. This might be something. Yeah, see, the whole path isn't here. So this, I think, is being cut off. Okay. So there might be more data here that's being cut off. Okay, so that's something to look at. The thing is that it's usable the way it is, you know, because you put it on your figure and it's going to pop up and it's going to ask you to auto fit. And now if you're trying to use it on Genesis 8, then you have to use that special app that they sell. And I don't know that that works with Genesis 8. So in version 9. So now this is body jewelry. Okay, these look like these are something for a crown. So yeah, this is your curation. Now I'm thinking about another program where there's like a visual page that opens up and you can store items in a universe, like where you can where you have planets, you have suns, stars, you have places like fantasy places, and they're all part of the universe, and where you can where you can take your items that you curate and place them into the universe. Okay, so this it's not going to be part of it might be part of EzFinder, but it's not going to be, it'll be part of EzFinder 2. Okay, and you might say, well, that sounds kind of weird. You know, that why would I want to put something out on Mars? Okay, well, there's a Mars rover, there's Mars terrains, there's Mars, all kinds of Mars stuff. And you say, well, I might want to put the Mars rover on Earth, you know, in some sort of, you know, at some airport or well, you know, so because there'll be probably airports and there'll be places, so there'll be places on Earth like bedrooms, and but there won't be just one bedroom category. There'll be like, or one house category. There'll be like your grandmother's house, okay? It might be a category. And so you say, well, this house is more like my grandmother's house than it would be my house. And then there might be modern houses. There might be fantasy houses, okay? So it allows you to put things and say, oh, I have that in fantasy houses. And so it allows you to, and then you can search fantasy houses and see all of your fantasy houses in one kind of click. So, and you know, the whole thing, because I put like a lot of thought into curation, because this is EzFinder. That's what this does. This is the beginning of curation, okay? This just allows you to put things into folders the way you want them, okay? But when it gets to curation, okay, you say, well, okay, I'm going to explain to you the difficulty that Daz is facing with curation, okay? Because you say, okay, well, I've got bedrooms, okay? And most bedrooms are on Earth, okay? Most kitchens are on Earth, unless it's the bedroom that's on the starship, okay? And that starship is probably in space, okay? So the thing is that you end up with this duplication error problem where you end up with a bathroom that, where is that space bathroom? Oh, I put it in space, okay? where you have duplication, like, okay, the starship has bathrooms, the starship has kitchens, the starship has, you know, it has, you know, you end up with all these categories duplicated for everything. Okay, so if you have the moon, okay, well, there's bedrooms in the moon, on the moon. There's bathrooms in the moon station. There's you see, so you end up with all of these different places with the same taxonomy or taxology in those places. And so it becomes kind of like, and then so you end up with the same bedroom on Earth that you have, you know, and they're only pointers, they're only like little teeny tiny files and everything. So it's okay to duplicate them because they're little teeny, like just pointers. That's the way EzFinder works, is that they're just pointers. But the thing, and so like, so what if you end up with bedrooms in the starship and bedrooms on the Earth? Because humans want to put things where they think they'll remember them. We have an uncanny ability to say, oh, that's my, those are my fantasy clothes. They don't belong. And the problem is when you put them all on Earth, you end up opening up your closet and there are 50,000 clothing items there, okay? But if you can put some of those clothing items in your vampire closet and in your, you know, in your fantasy closet and in your, you know, dress-up closet, in the theater closet, okay, where you have costumes, okay, then it makes it a little easier. So this is this new idea that I've come up with just today. I came up with it this morning when I woke up. I got out of bed and it's like, oh my God, there's going to be a universe. And it starts with the sun, okay? The entire universe, when you open up your universe, you're going to see a sun. And it's going to have you pick what files you're looking for. Am I looking for DUF files? And so the rays of the sun are going to be, so you click DUF and say, because mostly of the time it's going to be DUF. Maybe it's going to be FBX. Maybe it's going to be Blender files. Maybe it's going to .blend. Maybe it's going to be Unreal Engine files, okay? So the rays of the sun are what type of file? Because what does the sun, everything that we have in our world comes from the sun. Okay, from hydrogen, oxygen, all of the, you know, the solids and metals and all of the things that we have that we create items out of come out of the sun. So there'll be the file types around the sun. You click on DUF, okay, and then that is going to take you to Earth, to a world, okay, a universe, where all of your DUF files live in that universe, okay? And where you can go and say, I'm looking for my moon suit, okay? Where would that be? On the moon. I'm looking for my planets. They certainly wouldn't be in the bathroom category. They would be in space. Like I'm looking for my starship. I'm looking for my sci-fi clothing, okay? They would be probably in the closet of your spaceship, okay? Of the organizer spaceship, okay? So it just gives you the ability so that you don't have one closet, okay? Like this, wardrobe, where everything is in that wardrobe, okay? Underwear, every kind of underwear. You might want to have kind of sexy underwear and underwear, I don't know, but when it comes to like clothing and things, and especially like props, okay, it's just being able to put them in a location, okay, that is what we're talking about, a 3D location for finding things. And so that's, am I going to make this? Am I going to make this? I don't know. Okay. Right now we have curation like this. Okay. Where you can just create as many of these folders, and what you might want to do is create as many of these folders as you can and be specific. Instead of Enviro, you just might want to say, you know, earthly things, closet things, and hopefully when I do create this program, it will use your curated items. It may be smart enough to look and say, oh, these things might be good in, in fantasy. They might belong in, or you could just drag the folder and put it there for now, okay? And then start proliferating those items out into those worlds, okay? So it's just because it's so easier to remember things, and it's based all on that Greek philosopher who was giving his speech, and I think there was an earthquake or something, and the whole roof collapsed in, and he made it out alive, and they asked him, well, who was there during your speech? And he says, oh, I remember everybody, because every part of the room was part of his speech. Like the lamp over on the right was his main point, and the second, and the door over there, he used parts of the room as for his speech. So when he went back through his speech, he remembered who was standing by the door and who was standing by these other places. And so he was able to recall. That's what this is. It's a location thing to help us humans. So is everybody going to put their vampire clothes in, so there'll be like an underworld where you can put all your dark fantasy clothes and dark kind of stuff. There might be a lingerie room. I don't know. There might be, so where you can put these items. Is everybody going to put them in the same place? No. Okay, everybody's going to put them in a place they feel they can remember. This is like my grandmother's house, okay? So if you have a library with hundreds of houses, okay, and buildings, okay, you might want the city buildings, you might want my grandmother's house kind of buildings, you might want, your home, and there'll be some custom locations you can add in. So that's another idea, okay, because we have the ability, we have these teensy tiny files, we have the ability to create these folders, we have the ability to create them. Why not put them in places, in locations, okay, that in a world? And why not apply that world? And that world could very well be something like this, an entire panel, okay? It's like this. Okay, this is our last page of 9. It always scares me when that happens. So we can close this, all right? And then this panel here could be our location world, where it starts out with the sun, and we pick Duff, and then it takes us to a place, and there'll be wormholes, okay? And those wormholes are where items are duplicated, okay? See, so if you have an item you can put it in multiple places, and it'll tell you a wormhole and say, oh, that there's more of that stuff there. So this is that becomes a big helper, because the computer knows that. It knows it very well where the wormholes are. So yeah, this is ready to ship. Yeah, this is Fel Sanchez. Welcome, friend. I love your icon. It looks like a cute little kitty character. That is sweet. So yeah, this is it's ready. This is our underwear category. Thrown on the floor with D-Force. Armor, let's go to armor, something a little bit more cool here. So yeah, it seems like it's ready. It just really does. Now, every time, like I said, that you paginate, this is your anchor. So this is your anchor here. So let's find an anchor. We'll click on something that looks like this green armor here, okay? So when I go here, we're hundreds of pages away, but that green armor is still on this page, okay? See, so, and if I bring this over, it's going to throw us hundreds of pages. Well, it was not that many pages, but the green armor is still here. If I go like this and make it teeny tiny, the green armor is still on this page. Now there's 93 pages when it's tiny like this. When it's big like that, there's only 17. I have found that having like this many icons enables you to curate and go through tons of data all at one time and just kind of go through and drag and drag. Like this is all armor, but I would like to have shields. I would like to have, you know, boots and like these, you know, what is these different parts of the armor. It would be nice to be able to break them down. Now, I can still keep the armor folder, you know, and right now, there's only so much you really need to break down because I only have, like when it's full screen like this, and look how nice that's working. I only have 16 pages of armor, and that's out of 13,000. And I'm somebody who kind of buys armor. You know, I think it's cool, and I've made a lot of scenes with characters wearing armor. It's working. Keep going. Let's see how it's working. Yeah, it is. So now this armor hide, we could, I don't know that I need these here, okay? So I can remove them from armor. Is it going to remove them? See that? They're gone. See, it's working. Everything's, so this has been the first time that I've done a live performance that it just keeps working. So, and these are briefs. That is something that I haven't searched for, okay? So we go here, because I have underwear, all right? Let's go here. That just searched for tie, and I don't know why it brought those up as tie. Okay, so briefs. Okay, so we go back here. Let's clear this out. Help me. Okay, now we'll go back to this one. Oh, what's wrong here? Okay, I think I have to drag that. Yeah, it got dragged closed. All right, so we go here. No, we just need duffs. So we uncheck this. This was another thing that got fixed. All right, so we double click this. This puts everything from my Daz library in here. Now we can type briefs, B-R-I-E-F-S, briefs. No, just type brief. Okay, that will get briefs also. Searching. Okay, now we get briefcase. All right, we don't need those. So let's curate this kind of, let's curate it, micro-curate it, okay? All right, that's a briefcase. Those are briefcases, okay, but here, now look, a lot of these look like they're already in my, here, 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 here. All of this is briefs, okay? These are briefs because they, okay, these are briefs as well. These are briefs, okay? These are briefs. And this, I don't know what they are, but we're going to throw them in mats. Okay, those are these, and that's a briefcase. Okay, so we're going to drag them into shorts, into underwear. Let's see. Okay, where do we drag these? Underwear. Okay, we've already got, okay, did it bring it up? Where's underwear now? Yeah, there was, see now all the little purple. So they were not in my briefs, okay? We got 3 pages of briefs. Okay, this was still working here. Oh, these are all briefs colors. This whole page here, none of these are in there because these are under briefs instead of underwear. Okay, now they all have their little symbol, their true symbol. And we go here. Now we don't need those briefcases. And these are dropped briefs like, okay, those all go in here, briefs. Here we go. All right, we got to scroll this up. We can put them in here. Okay, bring this back and bring it like this. This is page 3. All right, we want to go, all right, we'll take this page and see if there's things we missed. Okay, we'll take these and drag them into here, briefs. And they're up where are briefs. And oh, we're in wardrobe. Yeah, that's right. This one I don't have alphabetized. It shows, okay, pants, loincloth, belts. Okay, that's in wardrobe. Yeah, okay, it's got to be here. Oh, it's underwear, not briefs. Okay, underwear, there it is. Okay, and that just put all those symbols on there. Now we don't want this briefcase. Remove from underwear. Come back. Okay, now it's lost its symbol, okay? And let's go back here and see if we missed some down at the bottom of the page. Yeah, we did. There's from here to there. Let's put these in our underwear. Okay, and now they have symbols. Now I have more. Now when I double click this, underwear category, all of those are in here. Okay, it works. So yeah, this is underwear. I'm not sure why these are materials for underwear. If you don't know where they go, like right click, open source folder, and you can see. All right, battle worn armor. Okay, this is materials, separate parts. Okay, so these are parts for the battle worn armor. Okay, this is Genesis 8 male. Okay, that's how you find out. It's just right click and it opens the folder and it will tell you what else goes with it. All right, this is, and you can say extra colors. You see, these are, this is how you find the material packs for things, okay? Is it just go and study, and it kind of teaches you a little bit about your library, all right? So we've got chains, these are chains, okay? Now, I lost one of my favorite little categories here. It's in props. What was it called? In props? I think it's one I want to do is put it in environments. Okay, I'm going to right click, new folder. You just have to right click. It will select the folder. I believe candle. Candle. Yep, see how it, now when it gets a little square like that, I haven't been able to really fix that. You just pick another symbol, or you have these wingdings, and you can just pick a different symbol like that, okay? And it gets rid of that square. It changes it. Now we're going to go into Enviro, and there's our candle. Okay, it has the same symbol. See, it's all working. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go back here. And I have to drag that open because I keep closing it instead of clicking it. When you click it, it'll open back up. No, it's not for some reason. Okay. All right, so we go Duff. You can drag it. Now this just injected 537,000 items. Okay, now when I go here and type candle, DLE. You don't want to type candles. You want to just type candle, a DLE, candle, and search. And now it's searching through 500,000 items. All right, now now there's 13 pages. I don't want to have to click through all 13 pages, so I just hold the shift key. Hold the control key, drag it, and now it just put all 13 pages in this one folder. Now when I click here, now I don't have to have all that other stuff loaded. Here are all my candles. There's some poses here for the candles, but we can now close that. That worked now. This worked. And we have our anchor point here. This is page 1 of 9. Okay, and let's see what we got. What did I just do? I just dragged folders into here, dragged things into here. And now we have an issue. Okay, so this is probably the last issue. Okay, so and it's probably written in my logs currently right now. So so what I did was I dragged them all from there, and then I injected this in, and now it's written in my logs. So whatever is wrong, I can figure this out and fix this final issue. So this is going to do it for me today. And so I will talk with you all again in the next Ez3DTv tutorial. And see, I just, if I close this and reopen it, it'll work. Okay, so it's not like the worst thing in the world, but I just don't want people to have to do that. Okay, so I want to have everything fixed. So that is it. So, and somewhere in the log, it's going to be telling me that there's an issue here. So I will talk with you all in the next video. Thank you very much for coming. And we're going to play a little bit of polka music here somewhere. Oh, let's go with this one. Oh, we got that one playing too. There we go. One music at a time. So, all right. This stuff will be in your hands soon. Your libraries will be under control. And then you can go buy everything, okay? Because you'll be able to find it. So that's the thing, is that we get kind of scared when we're buying stuff and we don't know where it is. We don't know, what's happening with it. It doesn't make us want to buy, but when we know exactly where everything is, then we can feel comfortable purchasing things. So that is this makes people much more feel much more secure in their investment. Okay, so that has got to be, that's a positive thing. Positive things are usually more reinforced when it comes to consumers. Thank you, Angus, as well. You take care. We got some music, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you very much for all watching. Bye-bye.